You have heard of or seen the whole Ari's a scammer news. Where do I begin? Am I a scammer? Am I scamming the people? Short answer, no.
That are untrue. So for one, she is not homeless. She has an extensive criminal history, and she has apparently abandoned her 9-year-old child.
Now, over the past couple of months, we've covered a lot of scammers on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and other social medias. Like, if you name it, you've probably covered it. With content creators like Miss Dirty Bird, who faked cancer for donations, and Glitter Forever 17, who faked mental illness for donations as well. And we will eventually cover Miles JJ, who acted like he had autism for, you guessed it, donations. The internet can be a place where you could get scammed, especially during the present day of the online world. But along with more and more scams that come up every year, there are more and more users who help expose those scams. I've covered most of these scammers, but no one as new as the content creator that we will be covering in today's video. Today we talk about AllinwithAri, a 32-year-old content creator whose very first video took off in views on YouTube. Just 3 months ago, AllinwithAri uploaded her very first video titled Living in My Car, Homeless in California, first vlog, where she talks about being homeless and not having a family that she can turn to for help, or even friends that she can turn to for help. During this video, she speaks about inflation and how it's affected her life, and even though she has a job, she can't find a place to live in California that is affordable. This video exploded in views and gained 2.2 million views in just 3 months. The comments on this video showed support for Ariana, and other commenters even tried to reach out to give Ariana a place to stay. This one video skyrocketed Ariana's YouTube channel, where in just 3 months, she reached 87,000 subscribers just starting out on YouTube without any videos before this one. Now, on the surface level, Ariana seems like this really nice girl who is just in a tight spot in life where she doesn't have family or friends that she can turn to. But if she was such a nice girl and as wholesome as people thought, then why in the span of 3 months did she upload multiple videos speaking about her name change, her personal life, speaking about how she was exposed, and how she might be quitting YouTube? With her last video being titled An Old Hobby of Mine, Saying Goodbye for Now. Now, with Ari blowing up in views and receiving money from her supporters and YouTube ad revenue, where did everything go wrong for her and her channel? How was she exposed? Well, it all starts to go bad right after her very first video. With so many eyes on her content and her way of living, from the YouTube algorithm pushing out the video to a huge audience, it wouldn't be long until people started to call out Ari in the comment section of the video where they felt like she was scamming them. See, even though Ari had a lot of supporters with that first video, there were also a lot of people skeptical of Ariana and her situation. Ariana posted her first video on July 23rd, 2022, and it wouldn't take long for new information to come out about her and the not so nice person that she was. In her first video, she stated that she had no family or friends that she could turn to, but this was proven false in a video that she uploaded on August 5th, 2022, titled How I Got to This Point, The Ugly Truth, Typical Everyday Stuff. During this video, she states that she moved to LA and left everything behind in Arkansas that wasn't important to her. Now keep that statement in mind, and we will come back to that later on. But also in this video, she states that when she first moved out to LA, that she stayed with family, and even though it wasn't the best fit, she chose to be homeless and live in her car, which is contradicting everything she stated in her very first video. This wouldn't be the first time where people caught Ari in a lie, the biggest lie being her name. Now, one of the first videos to expose Ari as being a liar and scammer was this video titled All In with Ari Scam, Convicted Criminal Exposed. That was uploaded by this content creator by the name of Scott Schaefer. This video from Scott was a huge eye-opener for anyone who supported Ari in the past. During this video, Scott exposes Ariana's real name, which is Ronnie Spur, and with her real name followed a lengthy arrest record for petty crime, which Scott brings up in his video. But not only was her name one of the things Ronnie was lying about or intentionally ignoring, Scott also pointed out she had a child that she intentionally never spoke about. Scott read out some of the court details regarding Ronnie's case with custody for her son, but the father actually gained full custody, and if you know anything about the court systems in America, that usually doesn't happen. Ronnie ended up being so bad that even her own adopted father, who was actually her grandfather, would go against her in court.
Of the young woman, Ronnie Spur, who goes by Ari now, that's her father. And he put out an affidavit basically, you know, trying to get custody for the father of the child. So it says, I, Ronald Spur, age 74, father of Ronnie Spur, age 23, do hereby states under oath as follows. I have concerns as for the care of my grandson. Date of birth, October 28, 2013. Ronnie Spur is my granddaughter, whom I adopted at age 2. Ronnie has always lived with my wife, her adopted mother, Ann Spur, and I sense that I love my daughter very much, and I know that she loves her baby and means well, but she's just not very responsible when it comes to the baby's care. After the baby was born, Ronnie has, on at least 3 occasions, in my opinion, acted irresponsibly regarding the care of the baby. Ronnie would simply leave the baby with us and stay gone for a few days without either of us knowing where she was or have any other contact her in case of emergency with the baby with us for that matter. Recently, Ronnie and her mother, my wife, had an argument and Ronnie cursed and threatened my wife. I believe that threat was that she would slap the blank face. I was present when this happened. This scared my wife, and Ronnie was asked to leave our home, and we changed the locks to our home. Ronnie, a few days later, came in through the garage by using the garage door opener through my truck when she knew the combination to. She left again when requested.
Ariana responded to the multiple videos made against her in a video titled, Am I a Scammer? Addressing the skepticism. During this video, she pretty much says a bunch of times that she's not a scammer and just to trust her. And she also mentions how she hasn't touched any of the donation money and how she put it into her savings for a van, which seems like the wrong thing to say when people have given you money so that you can either get an apartment or just a place to stay for the night. During this video, she states that she never even asked for donations, but even though she didn't outright ask for the money, she started a Cash App, Patreon, and PayPal account. That's like saying I didn't even rob a bank, I just held them at gunpoint and they just gave me the money. That's pretty extreme, but when you state that you didn't ask for the money but have multiple different ways to get donations, then you obviously want people to donate. She released 2 more videos that same week, one being titled My Name, where she talks about why she changed her name and how stupid she was as a kid, and how since she changed her way of living, she wanted to leave her Ronnie name behind as well. The next video was titled Being Exposed, A Day in Santa Monica. During this video, she talks about how she started the channel to be positive, even though her first video wasn't even that positive. And she also states how she was eventually going to speak about her past, but that she didn't want to talk about it until she felt comfortable in doing so, which I feel is just a lie, but she had to bring it up now because people called her out on it. During this video, she does say that she had a son, which is pretty messed up because she said this.
I left everything behind. I didn't bring anything with me. I didn't have time. I actually just brought the things that were most important to me and clothes and whatever else I could fit in my car. All my furniture, all of my belongings. I just had to wipe my hands of them. It was my belongings or it was my life.
Which means either she doesn't care about her son or just wanted to play the sympathy card when she said that she had nothing and she left everything behind. But this story takes an even crazier turn of events when Scott uploads a video on documents that he found when researching Ronnie. Now moving forward, this video might not be suitable for all audiences. It has to do with neglect with a child, and if that's something you can't stomach, please watch with caution or just completely skip this part of the video. Now on August 21st, 2022, Scott uploaded this video titled All In with Ari covers up child neglect allegations, All In with Ari scam. During this video, he reads off the official documents when Ronnie took her son to the hospital for a rash, but it was much worse than just a rash. Here's parts of his video.
Her child was 4 months old. 4 months old. And there was physical harm inflicted upon her child. I'm going to show this document. It's not for everyone. It's very disturbing, so if you don't want to see it, now's the time to end the video. And one thing I want to mention, this article that I'm going to show specifically mentions the child's name several times. I have blurred out the child's name, and I know once I show this, other people will find it as well. So I ask anyone else who wants to show this information to people, please block out the child's name if you do show this document. You know, the 9-year-old child did nothing wrong, so the 9-year-old child's name should not be plastered all over the internet. I took the time, I censored it. You need to do the same if you want to show this document as well. Okay, so this is the document right here. It's 3 pages. We'll cover it. Again, I blurred out the child's name. I'll just be referring to the child as Billy. Obviously, that's not his real name. Now, one thing I want to mention, a lot of people have been leaving comments saying, you know, she did nothing wrong. She's just trying to hide her past. There's nothing wrong with that. She didn't lie about anything. And what I'm going to show you in this document that I'm showing you basically shows that she did do something wrong. According to the documents, according to the doctor, according to the child services, she physically abused her child. Or at least, at the very least, she allowed her child to be very physically harmed. Again, there is a similar document other people have shown. This one is new that I'm showing today. So right here at the bottom it says, on February 15th, 2014, the following report was received by the hotline AV. Is 4-month-old Billy, The AO is unknown. Billy lives with his mother, Ronnie Spur. Billy was brought into Conway Regional Hospital Emergency Hospital. The mother stated that she thought that Billy was having an allergic reaction to something. Billy's right eye was swollen and the right side of his head. The doctor did a CAT scan to check and discovered a skull fracture and a small blood bleed. The mother stated that Billy fell 10 days ago off a mattress on the floor. The child was a little fussy after the incident, but nothing else had occurred until today. The child is currently headed to Children's Hospital in Little Rock ambulance. So that's the start of the story. We'll go on to the second page. So it says, FSW LaToyna Griffin was informed of SSW Lisa Smith that a call had been made to the Children's Abuse Hotline in regards to an infant with a skull fracture that had been hospitalized at Arkansas Children's Hospital on Saturday, February 15th. It was at that time that FSW Smith contacted the hospital and spoke with the social worker on staff, Tamara Belton. From that conversation, it was decided that the hospital will contact DCFS once the child would be ready for release from the hospital. FSW Griffin was notified at 5:40 p.m. by telephone that Billy was medically ready to be discharged from the hospital. The call came from Tamara, the social worker at Children's Hospital. FSW Griffin arrived at the hospital approximately 8:30 p.m. She was met in the lobby by the social worker. The social worker disclosed that the mother was not aware at this time that DCFS would be taking custody of the child. FSW Griffin was taken to the fourth floor and placed in a room to await the parent. FSW Griffin met Ronnie Spur, Billy's mother. Ronnie was brought into the room by the social worker. At this time, FSN Griffin explained to Ronnie that the agency would be taking a 72-hour hold on Billy due to the injuries not matching the mother's explanation of how the injury was obtained. Ronnie began to cry, stating that she forgot to tell the doctor that Billy had been on a thin blanket at her grandparents' house while they watched him last week, and maybe he thrashed his head on the hardwood floor. The social worker stated that she did not believe it was possible for Billy to give this injury to himself. Tamara then called the child abuse doctor who examined Billy. Dr. Shellchase put the doctor on speakerphone. Tamara asked the doctor if Billy could have caused this injury by what Ronnie was telling them. The doctor stated the location of the skull fractures on the right side, not consistent with the back and forth thrashing of a child lying on the floor. The doctor also stated that with the size and the significance of the injury, it is not possible that Billy could have caused this injury to himself. On February 16, 2014 at 10:30 p.m., due to concerns to the safety and well-being of the child, it was felt to be contrary to the welfare of the minor to remain in his mother's custody, and a 72-hour hold was taken by the agency.
After this video, AllinwithAri never responded to the documents and in fact heavily censored her comment section instead. The majority of her comments on her newer videos are pretty nice, and with all the information that recently came out against Ari, you would think that would be filled with more negativity. And I'm not saying to go bring negativity to her channel, but I'm saying that it's very weird that with her being exposed that she would only still get 10 or 20 negative comments. AllinwithAri started to become inconsistent with uploading and uploaded a video titled "What's Been Going On? Saying Goodbye to YouTube?" In this video, she would say this.
As you guys know, obviously I haven't been posting as much. Honestly, I just haven't been feeling it. The negativity and the hate and stuff I'm not gonna lie, it kind of got to me a little bit. Like, it just kind of put me in this funk. Like, I was starting to lose motivation to even make videos. I wasn't even really seeing the negative. I just knew it was out there, and I knew it was heavy based off of what my supporters have told me. It bummed me out because there's just so many lies and untruth going on. But, you know, I had to sit with it for a little while before I realized that it is what it is. It's gonna happen, and I think I'm at a point now where I just fully accept it, and I'm gonna have to just, you know, I'm just gonna have to pray for the people that are putting out so much hate.
After this video, she uploaded 6 more times until we've gotten to today. As I'm writing this video, she has yet to upload to her channel, and her last video was titled "An Old Hobby of Mine, Saying Goodbye for Now," which does seem like she's stepping away from YouTube. Now, AllinwithAri was only around for 3 months, but in those 3 months, Ari gained 87,000 subscribers and received well over $20,000 in revenue. She maybe even received $30,000 through just YouTube alone. In the short time that Ari was on YouTube or uploading consistently, she scammed a bunch of people and is still receiving revenue from the videos that are still up on her YouTube account. AllinwithAri took advantage of the people who donated by making it seem like she was in a desperate situation, but in reality, she just never was. Her first video pulled on the heartstrings of viewers, but the truth is, she was never homeless and exploited homeless people to gain sympathy. I do think that Ari should use the donation money and give it to a homeless shelter or any charity that helps with homelessness in LA. But that's just my take on the situation. Since being exposed, Ari's subscriber count dropped by 3,000 subscribers and her views have fallen off a cliff. But that's what happens when you scam people online. But this has been the end of the video. If you want to recommend me a content creator, the best way to do so is either on my Instagram account by direct messaging me or through Discord. Both will be linked in the comments below. Or you could just simply frequently comment on this video, but sometimes I forget about your suggestions. I'm not even gonna lie. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. We are on the road to hitting 150,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and that's only possible if you take the 1 millisecond to click that subscribe button. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.